then continued again to July 3rd. Then, of course, it was continued again to tonight's meeting, August 7th. As a general recap, does it, this one here?
That's okay, I can do it.
No, it's not working. There we go. Let me go back. Again, just as a recap, back in September of 2023, the City Council initiated a general plan amendment and a rezone for the properties located at the northwest corner of McKinley and Fine Avenues. We wanted to change that designation and land use from light industrial currently to community commercial. And again, as I had mentioned, we presented this item to June 5th Planning Commission meeting at the request of the commission, hearing the applicant representative speak on that. It was continued to July 3rd in order to allow the property owners of both parcels A and B in order to have some opportunity for further dialogue and discussion, and to ensure that the proposal has some compatibility with the existing uses on parcel B, and of course the implications of the proposed amendments and rezone, especially on parcel A with an undisclosed use that they were looking at. Again, staff did present and provide you as an Exhibit K where you have a summary update of the discussions from the June 5th meeting. Then when we returned on July 3rd, the item got continued again. This time the owner of parcel B had requested a continuance to this meeting date tonight in order to allow further discussions with the property owner of parcel A, as well as the opportunity to meet with a council member of District 4. Just a recap to show you the location of the properties, the two parcels there, and their sizes, parcel A and B, which are developed parcels, and parcel B, parcel A is slightly, a portion of it is undeveloped. It's a pad, and is the aerial photo to provide that image there. So basically, based upon the presentation that was made prior to meetings and what we have today, staff is presenting to you the three options for consideration and recommendation of the plan amendment and rezone to the City Council. You have option 1 is to recommend denial. Option 2 is to recommend approval, subject to findings of the criteria that's part of Exhibit G that's required for plan amendment and rezones, or adopt alternative findings, or option 3, recommend approval with conditions. And that concludes my staff report. The representative of the property owner is here as well.
Thank you. Do we have any questions from the commission? I see none. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay.
Do we have the property owner here? Would you like to speak?
Yes, good evening, Honorable Commissioners, Chair Vang. My name's John Kinsey, 265 East River Park Circle, and I'm here on behalf of the property owner of Parcel A, the one on the corner, Mass Investments. First of all, I want to thank the Commission for giving both my client and the other property owners the space and the opportunity to have very significant discussions regarding their future plans for the properties. And really that provided us an excellent opportunity to get kind of on a mutual plane of understanding, to build bridges. And I also want to thank Ms. Li Yang, the owner of Property B, for being just an excellent host at her cafe. I really recommend that everyone stop by. It's a phenomenal place. So with respect to this particular action, our discussions with the potential buyer are going a little bit slower than I think we had hoped. My client has grown more comfortable with the rezone to community commercial. And my client doesn't want to hold up this process any further or cause the city to have any further delay or expend any further resources on a delay. So with that, I did want to thank the city, I wanted to thank the commission, and also the adjacent property owners for their courtesy. And I wanted to, on behalf of my client, express support for staff's recommendation to rezone the property to community commercial, which is consistent with the direction of the council. I'd be happy to answer any questions, but again, I wanted to reiterate my appreciation of this commission, as well as the city and Ms. Liang. Thanks.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and go out to the public. Do we have any individuals who would like to speak in support? I see none. Do we have any individuals who would like to speak against? I see none. We'll bring it back to the commission. Do we have any questions or comments or any motion?
Make a motion to approve the staff recommendation.
I'll second.
Great.
Commissioner and Chair, so there are 3 options for the commission to choose from. One is to recommend adoption of the environmental assessment and recommend approval of the general plan amendment and rezone, which is what I believe that you would like to make a motion to do. Okay.
Yes. I will second.
Great. We have a motion by Commissioner Calandre, a second by Commissioner Diaz. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed say no. Motion's approved. Thank you. We'll move forward with new matters. This is item ID 241027.
Good evening, Chair Vang, Commissioners. Philip Segrist with the Planning and Development Department. This next item for you for consideration is an appeal related to conditional use permit application P23-03592 and the related environmental assessment. So this subject application, it's a request to expand an existing legal non-conforming use and business and the related site operations that is an existing business located in downtown Fresno. So the subject application pertains to an existing 11,250 square foot building that's currently vacant and is located at 2345 Stanislaus Street in downtown Fresno, and is located on particularly on the northwest corner of Stanislaus and N Street. The subject property, which the building is located, is also located in the downtown neighborhood zone district. And then this next image is a street view of the existing building. The subject property was most recently occupied by Pro Auto, which was a full-service automotive repair and service business. According to our records, detailed in the staff report, they had operated there since, I believe, 2003. And this next street view of the building shows that it's currently vacant, and Pro Auto ceased operating in early of 2021. The building is currently vacant and has remained vacant ever since. Currently, it's got some boarded up windows as well as some security fencing along the front of the building at the primary entrances. So the project applicant who submitted the conditional use permit owns and operates A1 Auto Electric, which is an existing full-service automotive repair business that's located across the street on the south side of Stanislaus Street. Their overall operations are comprised of two adjoining properties. One of those is an 18,500 square foot building, and that's where their primary automotive repair services occur in that building. And then on the adjacent site, just to the east, is a supplemental parking lot, and that's where customers, employees, and other vehicles that are being served would park. And this, their property is also located in the downtown neighborhood zone district. And this is just a view of the existing 18,500 square foot building where A1 Auto Electric's primary automobile service operations occur. And then another perspective looking from the southeast a little towards the west. On the south side of Stanislaus between M and N Street is A1 Auto Electric's current facilities. And across the street on the north side of Stanislaus Street is the subject property, that existing 17,000 square foot building that was previously occupied by Pro Auto. Some of the services that A1 Auto Electric does provide are standard, typical tune-up services such as oil changes, brake and transmission services, smog testing and repair, complete engine exchanges, as well as alternative fuel conversions and alternative fuel repairs. According to the development code, A1 Auto Electric's use would be classified as a major automobile vehicle repair. And so A1 Auto Electric is proposing to expand across the street into the currently vacant 11,250 square foot building. This expansion would include the less intensive services that are currently being provided within A1 Auto Electric's existing building across the street. So that's going to be your oil changes, brake services, et cetera. And so according to the development code, major automobile vehicle repair services are not permitted in the downtown zone district. But based on when A1 Auto Electric was first established there, they are considered a legal non-conforming use. And per the code, that legal non-conforming use may continue indefinitely. However, according to the development code, a legal non-conforming use can only expand with an approved conditional use permit, as well as provided at least one of three circumstances exist. And so that's that the resulting use of the subject property or the site will reduce current adverse impacts on adjacent properties or the general public, that the resulting use or the expansion of the project would aid in the preservation of a historic resource, or that the proposed project is necessary to comply with the requirement imposed by the law for the operation of the use, including regulations for disabled access. So that's really complying with ADA, American with Disability Acts, or maybe California Building Code requirements. And so therefore, the subject application was filed in order to facilitate that expansion of A1 Automotive to across the street and into the building that was previously occupied by Pro Auto. Is detailed in the staff report, and based on history of the prior building and its current state, as well as what this project would do, staff found that circumstance number one could be existed. So the subject application, on January 23rd, it was reviewed by the Council District 3 Project Review Committee, and they had recommended approval of the project. On January 31st, the notice of intent was mailed out to surrounding property owners. Only one comment was received, and that was a request from the council member who requested to receive a notice of action. And on April 23rd, a notice of action was provided to the council member as well as posted online. And on May 8th, council member appealed the director's decision to approve the project. And on July 26th, a notice of tonight's hearing was mailed out to the surrounding property owners. To date, staff hasn't received any comments from neighboring property owners or the public on this application. And so therefore, staff recommends the Planning Commission deny the appeal and uphold the action by the Planning and Development Director to approve the application. And I would say just one thing to add, that if the commission chooses to uphold the appeal and overturn the director's decision and request to deny the application, that the Planning Commission would need to make a determination that none of those circumstances that I described exist. And that concludes my presentation.
Awesome.
And the property owner, business owners from A1 Auto Electric, Mark Gilio and Josh Gilio are here in attendance, can also answer any questions the commission might have.
Great. Thank you. Great presentation.
Thank you.
Do we have any questions from the commission? No. Can we have, let's please have the applicant.
My name is Mark Gilio, and I've been downtown Fresno, A1 Auto Electric, Stanislaus and M Street since 1991. And actually, I don't have a whole lot more to say because Philip, I didn't realize you were going to, it was a great presentation. That's exactly what I was going to tell them, so I appreciate that. I just would like to say, though, that it's going to be just light-duty repair. What we're doing is we have kind of like the medium-duty repair in the shop that I'm in right now, which is right across the street, and we're going to make it a little more customer-friendly at the other facility to where we have a better waiting room and just for light-duty repairs, for oil changes, for brake jobs, and basically what he had mentioned, Philip had mentioned. So I don't really have a whole lot more to add unless anybody has any questions for me. We are going to fix the building up. Obviously, it's in really pretty bad shape right now. There's a lot of homeless down there, and there's a lot of people that shouldn't be around there that we're going to straighten that up and hopefully be able to hire about 5 more people in the building. That's what we have planned on doing. So unless you have any other questions, I don't really have any more, I think, to tell you.
No, how many, outside of that 5, how many people do you currently employ right now?
I have, in downtown Fresno, we have about, I think there's probably about 25 or so.
Great, great. Well, you have a beautiful building right now.
Well, thank you. Thank you. We've done a lot to it. Thank you.
Any questions?
I do have a question. On an average, how many cars do you see? And I know that's kind of a loose-end question, but what is the average amount of cars that you see in and out?
Well, on a daily basis, we probably have on that light-duty side that's going to go in that building, it's probably only going to be probably around 10, I would say 10 vehicles, maybe 12 vehicles a day.
So are you looking with the addition to this new property, are you looking at more cars or less because of the light-duty work that will be done at this additional site?
And it's just that we're jammed in space where we're at right now, so it's just going to kind of make it a lot easier for us to move around and get things done more efficiently. We're hoping, anyways. That's kind of what the game plan is.
Thank you, sir.
Any other questions? Go ahead.
So my question is, will this impact the area in a positive way for your customers? Like, will it benefit? How will it benefit your customers and people who are around the area or close to your shop?
Well, it'll benefit anybody around the area because right now it's a really blight. It's not a very nice site right now because the homeless have taken over that spot over there, and you know there's a couple people that have moved in there that like to speak to everybody. So when customers come by there, it's not very pleasant. So what we're planning on doing is making that an area. Not only that, but my building I'm in right now is a lot of heavy duty stuff. So it looks like I want to look more like just a light duty automotive for downtown Fresno. I want it to look like we're catering to these oil changes and brake jobs and the lighter things instead of some of the heavier stuff that we do in the other facility. So I think that they'll come in and they'll see smaller vehicles and it'll just be more appealing, I think, to people downtown than it is right now when they may think, well, I don't know if these guys are automotive or if they're pickup and larger vehicle repair. So.
Any other questions? Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and we'll go out to the public. Do we have any individuals who would like to speak in support? Please state your name, address, and you have 3 minutes.
All right. My name's James Samuel. I live at 4257 Sierra Madre, Clovis, California. Sorry. Thank you, commissioners. I'm here to support Mark and his team for this application for expansion. I'm currently the heavy fleet maintenance supervisor for Fresno County, but prior to that, I was director of maintenance for Kern County, and utilized A1 exclusively. Let's talk about the alternative fuel portion of what they do. That's the bulk of, so when you go by there and you see heavy truck, trash trucks, 10-wheel, 3-wheel axle heavy equipment that's being converted over to clean air, that's what Mark and his team specializes, and he does that throughout California. So wherever I go, I utilize the service. So when I was at Kern County, we would utilize their service, as well as the city of Visalia, San Francisco, and the list goes on. So we have a premier company here that really is noticed throughout the state and is recognized throughout the industry that I work in for alternative fuel and medium and heavy trucks. So Mark was being very kind. And to your point, that's been our ask for his business, because there's actually been times that I couldn't utilize his service because they didn't have the space. So that would allow me to give him more business. So I'm actually looking forward to it, and that's why I'm here to support it. And then also on the, lastly, yes, he's a good steward of the area. Recently he didn't realize I saw that they had someone run into their fence on the other property, and Mark was out there fixing his fence, and at his age, he shouldn't be out there doing that. So he would take good care of his new property. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have any other individuals who would like to speak in support? All right, I see none. Well, any individuals who would like to speak in opposition? I see none. We'll go ahead and we'll bring it back to the commission. Do we have any motions, comments, questions? Go ahead. You're fine.
I really appreciate the efforts that you're going to improve the area. That is definitely a blighted building, and it's good to see that it's going to be improved. And with that, I'm just going to make a motion to approve the environmental assessment and deny the appeal and uphold the planning director's action.
Great. We have a motion by Commissioner Calandra. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Commissioner Kreiner. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. Motion's approved. Do we have any reports by Secretary?
I do not have any new reports tonight.
Okay. We have any unscheduled oral communications? Okay. How you doing, miss? Please state your name, address, and you have 3 minutes.
My name is Yvonne Gordon.
Do you want to go ahead and, my apologies, miss. Do you want to go ahead and just lower the microphone? Yep.
Okay.
There you go. Thank you.
My name is Yvonne Gordon, and I live on Southwest Fresno. Been there since 1962. Well, I'm here to speak on this Southwest Pacific Plan, and wondering if you all have read this book. And it's really anti against black people on the Southwest. If you guys go to, I'm gonna speak on page 1-9, community environment health, and 1-10, table 1 and 3. And it's talking about the health profile of Southwest Fresno risk factor. And at the bottom of the table, 1 and 3, it talks about the adults ages 18 plus who did not graduate from high school or receive a GED. You know, Southwest, out of all of California, Southwest Fresno is 43.7% in terms of risk factor. City of Fresno, 24.7%. Fresno County, 26.3%, and state of California, in all, that's 18.7%. So what they are saying in this book, which is whoever came up with it, majority, 99.9% of the people in the Southwest didn't have nothing to do with this book. It was written against our approval, and what they are saying here is that we are so dumb that we don't know how to take care of ourselves. And that's an insult. And with this book being amended in 1969, majority of people on the west side were black people. So this is an insult to us. I've been here since 1962. My family was raised here. We all have education and college education. Matter of fact, I have a brother who has a gold medal. So my thing is, this is an insult to us as a people. It's anti-black. It just shows the hatred of how you look down upon the people in the Southwest, Fresno. And this Southwest plan need to be get rid of. You need to get rid of this book unless you're a part of it. So I recommend you guys to get rid of this book because it's very anti-black. And it's an insult to us as a people and as a race.
Thank you, Ms. Good evening, Miss. Please state your name, address, and you have 3 minutes.
My name is Bobby. I live in West Fresno. And I guess I'm just going to extend along with what Yvonne was saying. Just to, I don't know if y'all got the paperwork, okay? But I will, mainly it's just to say is that the community did not have any input. And I'm going to let you know this, is that heat, before the pandemic, we covered West Fresno for 2.5 years. Each month, we passed out flyers to let the community be aware of what this book was really all about. And the community was just totally shocked of the information in it. But we know that there was not community input, because when this was written up, and they began to pass this in '69, it just goes to show you that the people of today did not have any input, because it was amended, it was adopted back in '69, and then you continue to amend it. So that meant that who was back at that time were not even present at this time, most as a majority. So the reason I'm doing this is because the book is really, it's not even lawful, because the federal rules and regulation is that you have to the community has to be notified, and there has to be community input before you even, adopt anything like this. But we know that it's about gentrification, totally gentrification. Wow, okay. 1-14 is talking about we don't even have the ability to choose our foods. We are not a healthy, we don't know how to properly make decisions. Our community is more or less food desert. Now, we know West Fresno got food everywhere, so how could it be a food desert? Low educational attainments, household income and poverty. Like Yvonne said earlier, why didn't they survey the educational standards of West Fresno? Very well educated people. A lot of black businesses and Hispanics and Asian businesses are what's going on. But yet and still you publish untruths. So when you say that we don't even know how to dress or make a decision, that is totally false. And but the thing is that we are opposing and we are objecting to this book, and we will continually to object against this book. And whoever and however that we have to continually to notify DC or anyone else, HUD, to let them know that this is gentrification.
Thank you, Ms. Bobby.
Thank you.
Good evening, Miss. Please state your name, address, and you have 3 minutes.
My name is Brunette Harris, and I'm with the Heat for Southwest Fresno Community. I'm going to have you to go to 1-11, and it's a extension of what Yvonne was talking about with the community environmental health, and it talks about the issues, and that's on 111. Now we're going to 112, and it talks about the issue, the natural environment, the second paragraph. It says the planned area ranks as one of the most polluted areas in California, scoring in the 90s and the 99th percentile statewide. For the community statewide that is disproportionately burdened with multiple sources of pollution and population characteristics that makes them more sensitive to pollution, air pollution, toxic sites, former landfills, and other environmental pollutants contribute to poor ranking. Then you go down to the air pollution. Then it talks about Fresno Madera region is one of the most polluted regions in California and receives a grade F. Then it goes down and talks into, I'm talking fast because we only got 3 minutes. It says Southwest Fresno ranks as an area with some of the highest level of air pollution, ozone, particulate matters, and diesel pollutant matters, among others, throughout California. It's an insult for this to even have been written. You're saying we're the dumbest people. Do you know how big the state of California is? All of the cities that's in the state of California. You pick on Southwest Fresno. We're the dumbest people in the state. That's what this paperwork is saying. We can't make decisions for our area and ourselves. It's an insult for, I don't even know if you guys even read it. Now you come up with a multi-jurisdictional book, 2023. You only had 3 of these books, and you wanted them back. This is the first one. This was in July 2023. Then you came out with another one. November is bigger than this one. November 2023. Now we understand that you guys have another one out. Our community is not being informed. We're not included, and it is an insult. I don't know how this board can sit here and allow this to happen. Do you guys really read this stuff? This is ridiculous. How do you pick out one little piece of place, which is Southwest Fresno, out of the whole state of California? And you say we the dumbest people. That's an insult. And you guys pass this stuff. This is why we come here and tell you, and we're so upset as to what's going on. This is what the city of Fresno think of Southwest Fresno. You take our money and put it everywhere. We don't get anything. Then when you come in, you want to put us out. You want to gentrify us, and your excuse is we're the dumbest people in the state of California. You can't argue with the facts because this is what they put in the books. This is an insult.
Thank you. I just want to make a quick comment. I grew up in Central Fresno. I went to Norseman, Scan, went to McLean, right? When I see these numbers right here, what we're failing is we're failing the kids, right? Just because I'm a product of Fresno Unified, I'm a product of McLean High School. I graduated valedictorian, went to UC Davis, first day of class, in Poli-Sci 1, professor said, read 80 pages on Thursday. I looked at my best friend, I said, I never read a book in my life, right? So when I look at these numbers, we're failing a lot of our kids, okay? So thank you. I appreciate your passion and your input.
I would like to say something as well. In terms of the statistics of this book, can I ask, just so everybody knows, where are we getting these statistics from for these books? And I see that there's been comments about the information not being updated and the community not knowing what's going on, but you've just said that 3 books have been placed and hopefully updated with new information. So I would like to ask, where are we getting this information from, just so that everybody's aware?
So just a little bit of history on the Southwest Fresno specific plan. It was begun in 2015, and it was adopted by the City Council in October of 2017. It was an update to the Edison specific plan. And the data that was available at the time was the American Community Survey, which is what everyone typically uses for these. And while I'm not a fan of the statistics in the American Community Survey in terms of the accuracy, it is the standard that's used nationally because it's the one uniform standard across the country. So that's typically what's used in these. And this particular specific plan was updated in 2017. Since then, we've initiated additional specific plans. So it's really it goes around the city. So the next one we started working on was the Central Southeast specific plan, the West Area specific plan. I believe that at least one of our commissioners served on that particular committee. So it takes time to adopt them. It's typically 20 plus years before it comes back around. They're not updated. The additional new documents that were referenced were the multi-jurisdictional housing element. The housing element is a different chapter of the general plan, and it's a required document by state law. So what was produced last summer was the draft of the region, because we're participating in the entire Fresno County housing element. The document that was published and sent to the state for first review earlier this year. And then the most recent one that was just published to try well, we're sending it back tomorrow to HCD for their review in response to their initial comments. So those documents will not update the Southwest Fresno specific plan. It's a separate document.
Okay, thank you. So just for clarification, nobody here at the dais is in charge of these statistics. And, you know, I have seen heat here for quite some time, and when I see you guys, I think of community, and I think of us working together. There's a lot of things here that really is discouraging to hear from people that are so passionate to say that we discussed you and that we don't read. I think that's an insult, and you guys have talked about insults. So I would ask that, you know, instead of picking at things and saying things like how people are dumb. I didn't see the word dumb in there at all. I didn't see anything about not knowing how to dress or make decisions. I didn't see anything about people being so dumb that they don't know how to take care of themselves. This is open to interpretation, and these are statistics, and nobody here is in charge of that. We want to work together. We want to help and make Southwest Fresno and do things that also make you happy as well. So I just ask that when you do come up and speak to us, that there is some respect behind it, and we will be the same.
Madam Chair.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
I want to acquiesce to Sister Yvonne, if she would like to speak. If that's out of line, sir,
Do we have, Commissioner, do we have to make a
have my
motion?
remarks first? You want me to have my remarks first?
You go ahead, you can speak first.
Okay. Jennifer, my question is there any way possible that maybe long-range planning can sit down with HEAT and those individuals that have not had a conversation regarding the Southwest specific plan? Because until Ms. Harris brought it, we've had, prior to me being on our planning commission, there's been conversations at our church regarding the Southwest Pacific Plan. I want to say after 2017, kind of when it all kind of came out, and there was discussion about it, but I don't remember there being a major meeting that we were privileged to be a part of. So I was wondering, is it possible for long-range planning maybe to sit with HEAT and maybe they could help us get those in Southwest Fresno at the table, maybe in a large room, so that questions can be asked. Otherwise, HEAT is the only one that's coming back, and then they're giving that information back to a community, and a lot of those individuals aren't hearing the message that they're saying. So the message is kind of getting diluted, and before we know it, we may have a lot of more individuals that are asking some of the same questions that Ms. Harris has been asking today. And even that Sis has asked that we've kind of gotten a little bit of answers to. Is that a possibility?
Yeah, so thank you, Commissioner. We can do a couple of different things. We can work with the Mayor's Office of Community Affairs to set up a meeting in Southwest Fresno to do a presentation on what the plan was, how it did engage the community. I can just, because I don't know if any of the commissioners are currently sitting on the dais, were on the commission the time that it was adopted. Right. But it, like I said, it did was initiated in 2015 and adopted in 2017. There was a 21-member steering committee which was appointed. They held 14 steering committee meetings. There were 10 topic group meetings, 3 community workshops, and there was even an office at the Marcus Center, or in the Marcus Center, in a vacant storefront to allow people to come in and participate. There was a lot of participation in the plan itself. And so we would be happy to do just a presentation, and if the commission would like a presentation on what the plan was and when it was adopted, what it does, right? So it's like the general plan. It's a visionary document. It sets out policies and goals. It's not an implementation plan in and of itself, right? So it says, here's what we'd like to see, and here's the direction we want to go. It draws a path forward for development.
I think that'd be great. Just maybe give a little bit of history of how we came to where we are right now. What I think would be great, Jennifer. If we could set that up, that'd be great.
Yep, I can do that. Thank you, Commissioner.
And unfortunately, I'm looking at the Planning Commission bylaws because each individual from the public was given their opportunity to speak, their 3 minutes. I won't be able to open up to the same individuals to speak. Okay. It's currently 7:11. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, let me just say that every human matters. Looking at these numbers, like I was reading this thing here, they said, they gave grade F. Like I'm an educator, I teach 3rd grade. I've been teaching for 18 years in Central. So I just wanna know, is the city or the state doing anything about these statistics? Okay, we love to collect all these numbers or showcase these numbers about a particular area. Are there improvements being made? Just saying like 90 in the 90 percentile bottom or 99th. So, like, how are we improving those communities? Do we have an answer for that?
So let me just talk a little bit about, some of the ways that the Southwest Fresno specific plan has been utilized to access investment dollars into the city. So probably the most notable one is the Transformative Climate Communities, the TCC dollars. through Transform Fresno, which was specifically dedicated to downtown Chinatown and Southwest Fresno. And the initial investment was nearly $100 million, and it's dedicated to specific investments in parks, in development projects, new housing, and so the West Creek Village is a really great example of how those Transform Fresno TCC dollars were utilized to catalyze additional investment. So the dollars for the infrastructure for the road, water, sewer, sidewalks, park, then drove the decision to place the community college in that same location. So as a part of that project, you heard a development project in the corner adjacent to the community college. So in addition to the community college center, there's a shopping center that is being developed with private dollars, right? So the investment drove that. So then there will be housing, then there will be a larger shopping center. Again, yes, so the city is using the information, the policies and goals to get additional dollars into the community, and then those dollars are driving private investment.
Thank you, Jennifer. It's currently 7:14. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.